Morning. It is Saturday morning. I've just finished doing the edit on the video for the tyre test that we did last night. So I did the test last night, done the edit this morning, just had a review of the draft that I'm going to send out with a private link. It's very difficult when you get when you get new tyres to know what you're dealing with, isn't it? Like, are you dealing with the rubber, the tyre, the mould oil? The fact that you take them straight out on wet roads doesn't help. It's not like they're dry and they get scrubbed in. Didn't take the knobbles off, but we did take them straight up Huntsbury Road, which is a legal road, but it's don't normally ride it in the wet. It's normally reasonably dry or drying when we go up there. So the question is, were we being fair in the assessment of the tyre? Probably not. But you report what you find, don't you? You say what you see. So we probably should go out again. Now it is absolutely banging it down. But it's not training if it's not raining, eh? I'm just thinking of a route that we can go. I should really go up the side of the Wymack, take it on some wet blue stones and see what actually happens. You might have seen there was a service light on the bike last night as well, so I should probably change the oil. Although it's only done 2,500 k's, something like that. That's a separate subject. Oil, life, quality, brand. That's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down, isn't it? Alright, I'll see where we get to. I'm not sure about this today. It has trip to the emergency room written all over it. We go in and finding the limits of tyres in the rain on shiny blue stones. What could possibly go wrong? Right, I've really no idea what this is going to sound like, but we are going to go for a ride on the 890 and we're going to see if we can make these tyres work a little bit. Right, wet roads, normal speeds. What do you say? Yep, they'll definitely let go. Yeah, they kind of held on all right there. Not noticeable. Clear.
slow down a bit so we can see. I don't think we'd like to tell them just how quick we're going, but they are holding on. Come back over the ridge. A bit more muddy there. Quite progressive, it's sliding, but it's quite loose. It's anything but dry. Oh, let's go back and go up there and see what that's like. Oh, that front just slid. That front just... Oh. I've got myself a bit beached here, but... I'm being a little unfair. Or are we? no grip whatsoever on that, is there? I don't think we're going to get out the other end. She's all over me. That was entirely uncontrolled. I just about shit my pants. Well, let's try again. That was quite a nervous descent. The bike looks pretty good though. So a little walk round. See, we're out. Still not got those knobbles off the front, but I'm genuinely thinking that those middle knobs are twice the size they need to be. Bike's clean enough. The back is certainly stronger on the right hand side. We've cleaned those off a bit more. Left hand side, yeah. That was a very nervous descent. There was nothing. That front wheel was not doing anything at all. So let's see how we go down here. A bit steadier this time, eh? It really is just dial a slide. Oh, I'll have a go up there and see what it's like. Let's try this one up in the woods. Did give it a go the other week. That is just zero grip. That ain't going anywhere up there. don't think we're going this side of the tree. Let's see. Gonna have to just lean against there while we get it round. It's quite technical. That front just bump. A little bit of wetness. I'm going to turn off in a minute. That just nearly put me wide. Well, it did put me wide, it nearly put me off. That's Points Road. I'll keep going to Dog Stream. Here's a question. So it's a bit more clay down here. Well, as soon as we're on that, we're holy fuck. That was the front end went. Holding on here. This weather we're 40 or more kilometres an hour slower. Just Well, that stopped quite well, actually. Stopped quite well. Right, we're at Dogstream track, so let's move the camera and try a bit of POV going forwards. Right, let's see how we get on up here. Just a runaway. See this marbly stuff. This is what just dialing it. ABS. You know, just Preston's Road. Let's go see what the Ford's like, eh? Now we normally bring the 500 down here, don't we? But it looks like we'll go down there. Oh. Need to slow down a bit. let's have a think about, let's just deconstruct the day. So it is, it's Sunday, tyres arrived on Friday, fitted them Friday afternoon. They were very easy to fit. I have no issues with that at all. They look fine. The front looks a bit chunky to me. I did a comparison with some of the other tyres in the garage. I think that centre block on the front needs to be smaller. It needs to cut through whatever you're driving on. Now, whether that's the sand-sized little marbles or marble-sized marbles or something a bit bigger, I think that needs to be smaller. Very good road grip. I had no issues with that at all, but the thing with tyres is that it's all very well selling them as a 2-for-1. Oh, you get 2 backs for 1 front. No one wants a fucking half-worn shitty tyre on the front. If you're putting a new tyre on the back, you want the front to be as good as the back. Otherwise, you might as well just have road tyres. That's my view. A front and a rear should be matched in their wear patterns. If you're going to run a front off, because you just end up with a shed full of half-worn front tyres. I don't think that's controversial. I think that if you're looking for performance out of your tyres, then you want the damn things to match. You want front to rear balance. You want wear to be balanced front to rear. You want the thing to work all the time that the tyres are on the bike. So I think that you can take some tread out the front, compromise wear, increase grip, and that's the right thing to do. Don't try and make the front last as long as you can. You're not achieving anything. And at the minute, what we noticed with the front is that it would let go. Just lean it in on those whetstones and gone. We had a couple of near misses on that. It ran me wide on one corner, it took the front again. If I compare that to, the other 2 tyres that are the Premier League, you just need to compare that tread size. So you can just make it work. You can just make it work by making the tread blocks smaller. Tread blocks smaller on the front. That is the takeaway from the front tyre. The rear tyre, well, the rear tyre was dial slide. I mean, there you go. That's the amount of grip you've got. This is mine. 2-wheel drive Fortuner with Toyo High Country, wherever the fuck they are. 80,000 kilometre tyres. What was I thinking, putting 80,000 kilometre tyres on a car that now has got no wet grip? I don't think you can draw the graph and go, this is the wear profile, this is the grip profile, and where they overlap, that's the optimum bit, because it all depends, doesn't it? Do we do a hot crazy ratio for tyres? I think we need to do a hot crazy ratio for tyres. Rear tyre. If you bring the noise, it will go for a walk. If you dial the throttle, it will go for a walk. It doesn't let go. I will give it that. It is dial a slide on the back, and you can hear on the you can hear on the audio track that it just, you know, when you turn it on, it turns on. The off-road grip, well, we took it up that little boulder track. That's quite rutted out, so people in four-wheel drives have been up there. That's kind of cross-rutted. They've spun one wheel and it's dug it out, and then they've gone forward and spun another wheel. So those holes in there, it's not an easy up. It looks it, but that's a real momentum track. If you can keep momentum on that up, then you're doing all right. Along the top of the bank, that's quite narrow. You are quite close. You're very close to the edge of there's quite a drop off the side, so you do need to be a bit careful. You can see I'm just first gear, maybe a little bit of second gear clutch. Hang on, wrong way. I haven't driven this car in a while. That descent, holy shit. Holy shit, that was murderous. I stuck the nose of the bike down there, I put the brake on, and the whole thing just ran away. The whole thing ran away, and I have never had that on a bike. Never. I have ridden the 890 in Nelson on clay with the Mitas on the front, and we had braking the whole way down. That front just let go. And it was a runaway. You can see on the video, I just about shit myself try and narrate the descent, but I'm just shit. Away it went. And I've occasionally talked about being a passenger at times, but we were not a passenger there. That was like dropping the anchor on a big ship and having your foot in the rope and it just pulling you over the side. It just disappeared into oblivion, never to be seen again. That was pretty much what it was like. So if you can hear me coughing and spluttering all the way down there going, blah, 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 there's a reason for that. It was chaotic. And at the point we had no grip, I just let go of the brakes and just followed the bike. That was the only way we were going to survive that. And we got out in the bottom, it was all right. We tried that other up track. Now, if you look in the library, you can see Cameron in there struggling on his WR450. So it's not an easy up. It is not an easy up, but I have been up there on the 890. And did not expect it to struggle like it did. That was indicative of just, I don't know. There wasn't much grip anyway. So we gave up on that climb, had to turn it round. The rest of the day, well, they were all right in the gravel. The bluestone gravel, they're kind of all right on that. But when you get on the riverbanks and you're running on snooker balls, you're running on snooker balls and marbles with a bit of mud thrown in there, as opposed to some nicely pisted, fully graded gravel road. Yeah. At that point, yeah, the road works. They work on gravel roads. They don't particularly work so well on the riverbed. It's this adhesion. It's the wet grip on rock. That could be better. The front, pretty sure that block pattern in the front is bigger than it needs to be. If it was smaller, you'd have more grip. Sure, you'd throw away some life, but who gives a fuck? you know, like you just want it to work. And you don't want to do 3 front tyres to one, do you? Like, it's not a competition to see how long your front can last. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.